iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest with the Philly Fanatic. The Lowdown with Lowtide, now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I'd sing it, but I want you to stay tuned. Baseball pennant races, the hockey news comes daily, college football just getting started, CFL rolling down the highway, and the giant spacecraft that is the NFL is poised to block out the sun beginning early next month. Lowdown with Lowtide brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube. They're overstocked, making room for massive summer clearance, plus employee pricing continues. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com, as well as Sports 1440 and YouTube. We are live on Radio Player Canada, iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca. Steve Lansky is our featured guest today. We have Declinations at 1240 today, and we are so looking forward to visiting you and talking to you and hearing from you on a variety of subjects. Our text line, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. After the show, we tweet it out on X. It's also at Apple and Spotify. We're on Twitter at Lowtide, at Declan Krueger, at jfenwick04. This is the final day of Connor Spivak with us, so we'll be talking to Connor about his future and opportunities that he will take in the next while. I suspect he'll be my manager or the owner of the company within 5 years. Josh Fenwick and Declan Krueger also here. We're the Friday edition of the Lowdown, and we're all ready to head out and enjoy the weekend. I'm on very little sleep because about 2 o'clock in the morning in my house, there was a hellacious hailstorm. I don't know if it hit your house or not, maybe just me. But if you're dragging your ass a little bit today, I'm with you. It's going to be an interesting show. We'll do our absolute best. All right, issue 1. Oilers hire Misha Donkov as a coaching consultant. He's a big brain, loves analytics, did terrific advanced scouting for the Vegas Golden Knights. Sound good, but he likes math and was seen reading a book. Do you trust him, Declan?
Yeah, trust is a funny word, but I'm a fan of the hire for sure. I think anytime you bring in a guy like that with that pedigree as a consultant to a new regime, I generally trust it.
Plus, on top of that, the Vegas Golden Knights are one of the most prepared teams in the NHL. If he can bring that, I know a lot of people are talking about, maybe he's going to be the next coach after Babcock. My own sense is that might not be the way. This feels like a new position and a pretty wise one by Stan Bowman and the Oilers. If you've got some great advanced scouting that maybe he wasn't around before, I think it's a great idea. Issue 2. Bowman told Speck that Matt Savoy won't be out long and no one should be worried. Based on past injury updates from the day-to-day gang, should we believe him, Josh?
No, you should not believe Stan Bowman.
It's kind of hard to, right? Because remember, day-to-day was month-to-month and then year-to-year.
Yeah, what was it? Matthias Janmark went down day-to-day and he's still out 8 months later.
It was kind of wild stuff. I wonder, maybe they're trying to turn over a new leaf. Maybe that's it.
Maybe.
Issue 3. Elks have added NFL quarterback Matthew Caldwell to their negotiation list. Cool move or just window dressing, Declan?
Window dressing.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got their guy, right? Like at least until next year and probably the year after. I imagine he's doing so well. What are you going to give him? Maybe a new backup, but that's about it. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, go.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, like Cody is young enough that he'll be there for a couple years, and I think Taylor Powell is pitched to be the heir apparent.
Right. Oldest CFL quarterback you recall playing as a regular. Who would that be?
Damon Allen.
Right. Long time. Such a great athlete. Issue 4, Jays look rancid and Vladdy gets booed. Has anyone tried turning the Blue Jays off and then on again? Josh?
I don't think anyone's tried turning them off and on again. I mean,
they're booing Vladdy. That's bad, man.
Yeah, but I think at a certain point, like, you can't just, like, swallow your frustration anymore.
Yeah.
Don't get anybody wrong. I think everybody still loves Vladdy. Like they're just really disappointed.
It's that old dad thing, right? I'm not mad. I'm
just disappointed.
It's
Which is like
the
more
worst.
gut wrenching than anything else.
It's true. Issue 5, in today's fantasy football update at The Athletic, Michael Salfino wrote, and I quote, Josh Allen hasn't thrown more than 5 TDs to any wide receiver since Stephon Diggs left town. DJ Moore is past his prime, very likely to disappoint. Does your team suck, and why is the answer yes? Declan.
Ooh, you know what's funny about this? In my keeper league, just because of the nature of the beast of how keeper leagues work, I was forced to keep DJ Moore for a 4th rounder. So I hope this is not the case. I tend to believe it might be, though.
Okay. They were really mean to the Eagles and to the Bengals, too, just so you know.
That's nice.
They didn't pick on one particular team. They were all over everything. But it was well written and it was funny, so that's why I wanted to bring it up. Okay. I think we all should go around the room and tell Connor Spivak what he means to us. You can start, Josh.
Okay. Hey, Connor, great work on the stream, big dog. Way to go. You picked that up fast.
He's going to be the owner of the company within 5 years.
Yeah, well, he better remember who taught him.
So you're going in that way, are you?
Yeah, bro. Mentor, mentee. You know what I mean?
Right. And I just want to say I didn't work with you very much, but I enjoyed your trivia. I think you're a very bright guy. Whenever I threw it to you, you came back with great responses. And, I think you're going to have a great life and a great career. I'm glad you chose this industry. I hope you thrive for a long time. And when you own the company, I hope you remember how nice I was to you.
5 years? You don't think you're going to be retired?
Oh, maybe 4. Oh, no, I won't. It'll be.
You're going to keep going until we're like, hey, Al.
Have you ever seen the Monty Python? Bring out your dead. That's me. I'm
That's
not
what's going
dead.
to happen?
Yeah.
Like you're just going to keel over one day, like on air?
Oh, let's stop dreaming and stop hoping.
Wow,
All right,
whoa.
Declan, what does Connor Spivak mean to you?
Great vibes guy. Good personality. Can tell you're just like a chill, good, fun dude you'd want to hang out with. The trivia questions were like unreal.
Oh, yeah, they were
Most
great.
of I couldn't have thought of questions that good in a lot of respects. It always made the segment a lot better for the rest of us. So that was dope for sure.
About 11:30, I walked by the studio in my sojourn to the bathroom, which happens 10 to 11 times during the 2 hours that I'm on the radio and in this building. And I saw you with your head hung, looking down like you had been out all night. What was there a reason for that? Or are you just in a moment of pondering?
A bit of a moment of pondering, but I wasn't up late last night, but I was just kind of early morning, just finish all my packing to head out after.
Oh, so
night.
you're done.
Oh yeah, no, I'm done. Like I am as soon as 6 o'clock hits, I am in the car on the road home.
Okay, you're in a car. You didn't take the jet back home or the helicopter or anything like that.
No, I figured I'd live like a normal person for once.
Because weren't you saying that he took a bicycle into the station every day?
No, that was
Sam.
That was
Sam,
2
right.
interns ago.
Sam was the guy who kept knowing stuff about things but never did actually know about
But
it.
didn't actually know anything? That is correct. That is him.
I remember thinking to myself when we was talking one time, I'm like, I don't think that's right. I mean, that might be wrong. That's one thing Connor never did. He was always factual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so that we know. I mean, maybe he wasn't. We're not sure. All right. What are our plans for television watching this weekend, gentlemen? Are we watching college football, Declan?
Yeah, we'll definitely be checking out the week 0 slate. I won't go too in on this because it could obviously take me hours. But that first game, TCU and North Carolina, rematch from last year out in Dublin. Bill Belichick, start of year 2. USC and San Jose State. I got high hopes for USC. I think the line is like 38.5, so they should blow San Jose State out. And then UNLV Memphis. UNLV would be a sneaky G6 team that could throw something together to get to the playoff. Excited to see how that one plays.
How many Div 1 teams are there? And is Bowling Green or Grambling, they're Division 3, right?
Grambling's not. Bowling Green is.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
they
right.
play in the MAC. There's 130 this year, I believe, after Sacramento State and North Dakota State got added.
And 126 play in a bowl game, right?
Pretty much. And sorry, I should also clarify. There's 130 FBS teams. FCS is also technically a part of Division 1, but they separate FBS, FCS before they get to Div 2 and Div 3.
And Simon Fraser University is no longer part of the NCAA at their level, right? They moved back to Canada.
I think don't they play Div 2 basketball? in the
Okay.
NCAA.
All right. Okay. I wasn't sure.
I could be wrong though.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you see for Declan, NCAA football related? Did you see the touchdown yesterday between Mercyhurst and Youngstown?
I did not.
Oh, it might be touchdown of the year, and it might come from a week 0 game.
I will
I
check it out.
love it.
It goes, the receiver bobbles it, catches it, drops it, kicks it, and then I think the quarterback runs after it and dive catches it for a touchdown.
That's a CFL play. They're stealing our stuff.
It's honestly legendary. I'm gonna send it to Deck right now so he can look at this because it's awesome. There we go.
2-hour show, you know.
I just
Sure,
I,
watch the
I
video.
just had to see if he saw it or not.
I will check it out. They are one of those FCS teams, by the way.
How about them Raiders? I haven't heard a lot. I love the young quarterback. He seems like he's, can do an interview and play well, which puts him ahead of the last 12 quarterbacks in the Raiders. But
Don't disrespect Derek Carr like that.
well, you're right, Dirk. But Carr got hurt a lot, right? Isn't he the one who
Yeah,
got
he
hurt?
had some shoulder problems and whatever else, but I mean, he gave it the old college try.
All right. I know people want me to talk about Kachuk and Seattle in Canada. I'm not going to do that. Are we so great at our own geography? I think we kind of are in Canada. We sort of know where cities are.
Yeah, 10 provinces, 13 territories, right? Or three territories,
yeah.
13 total. My apologies.
Yeah, I think we sort of know, I don't know exactly how close St. Catharines, Kitchener is to Toronto, but I know it's on the way there.
Yeah, it's all that little mishmash, whatever. Just, hey, you know what? Look at a globe. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that hard. Look at a map. Seattle, very prominent U.S. city. Anyways.
Okay. Amanda is texting us from Muttstock, a local friendly festival. HLH will be there fundraising for Bottles for Hope bottle drive and in-person 50-50. So I want to give them a plug and wish them good luck and hope you do well. Take your mosquito repellent. My God. I mean, I let the dog out to go pee at 9 o'clock and I let 4,000 mosquitoes in and then they bite me all night long. They're like Lionel Richie. They're little Lionel Richies all night long.
How dare they?
Not good. Felt like Josh was going to talk about Derek Carr as Chris Collinsworth for a second there.
No. Not going to happen.
Here, Chris Collinsworth is. I know you think it's a thing, but that's not what he sounds
it's hilarious.
like. I think a lot of stuff I do is hilarious too, but
it
I've been
puts
told
a
it's
smile
not.
on my face.
Well, that's all that
As
matters.
long as I can stay happy,
There you
I don't
go.
really care.
Can people actually give Bill Belichick a lot of, at least a little bit of credit? Got himself a nice life partner, and everybody jokes about it and all that stuff. But at least he's not caught in the middle of the night in a trailer park. That's all I've got to say about that from Roadhammer. Well spoken, Roadhammer. Look, I refuse to talk on the issue because it's not sports related, and we've already talked about the owner of the team who did the trailer park, and Bill Belichick is free to go about his business, and I do think that at some level, though, you need to separate, family life from football team. And last I checked, was she not?
They were doing a real bad job of it.
She was on the sideline.
So, I think she called a couple plays last year.
So I just want to know the bona fides before we start talking about her being, I'm not trying to be, chauvinist here, but I don't know that she's done a lot of coaching before the plays were called.
I feel pretty confident that she's a model or something, right? Like, hey, listen, you know what? She could have been on the sideline in high school. She was like, I'll never be able to play football, but guys, look at this defensive set. We can cook. We can tear this up.
Manny says, Declan, what of my beloved Lobos of New Mexico? Woof, woof, woof.
Yeah, I was actually just texting him back. What's really funny about that, I don't know if this is why he texted in, Mercyhurst, who we were just talking about. They actually play New Mexico this year, funny enough. I think they could get up to 7 or 8 wins. They got like 2 games I think are going to be circled losses, the UNLV game and the Oklahoma game. Got a couple games that are going to be circled wins. I think they can get up to 7, 8 wins. That's good for New Mexico.
For sure. What's the of the teams I would see on television this year? Who's the worst one?
Oh my goodness, good question. I mean, like probably Arkansas.
Okay,
Because they're
Razorbacks are famous.
they're probably going to be like the worst team in the SEC, or
Right.
like a Purdue or something like that. That's going to be one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. It'd be something like that.
What about Arizona?
I'm bullish on Arizona. I've considered putting them at the back end of my
Oh,
top
okay.
25.
All right, okay.
Low, like 25th,
Right.
but they're going to know Fafita. Yeah.
I'm going to get you to tell me what's coming up on Declinations at 12:40 today. But first, can you list off all the member teams of the big Pac-12?
Washington State
Yes,
and Oregon State.
and
That's it.
where are we going?
I know. The Pac-2.
All right, what's coming up on Declinations at 12:40?
Yeah, so Josh and I are going to be giving our top 5 biggest question marks for the Edmonton Oilers heading into this season.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Might get some writing ideas. Might scoff a few things. By the way, on the Athletic today, I wrote an Athletic article about McDavid and Draisaitl, and if Mike Babcock wanted to, he could reduce the time on ice for McDavid, Draisaitl at even strength, even with the injuries to Savoy and to Matthias Janmark. Now, we're going to talk about that injury situation on Rumors, which is straight ahead. We have Steve Lansky. He'll be our feature guest at 1 o'clock, and your texts are most welcome. It seems like you're in an interesting mood today, which I like because I'm on no sleep, and I'm liking it because it's content, and I need that with my brain fried as it is. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Text us and let us know what you think. Lowdown with Lowtide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
They're going all out to earn your business at Wolf GMC Buick. Right now, they're seriously overstocked on over 400 pieces of inventory on clearance and ready to move. See for yourself. Click on the clearance tab at wolfgmcbuick.com. And it gets even better. Employee pricing continues with huge cash discounts, 0% purchase financing, and low lease rates on select vehicles. Once again, see their website for details or stop in today. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
1 in 3 Canadians aren't getting enough sleep. Let the Brick help you sleep better for less. Save 40% on the Steely Crown Jewel Resort mattress. Get sheets starting at just $49. And buy one pillow, get the second for just $10. Plus, take up to 55 months to pay with no interest and no money down. And with next day delivery in Edmonton, you can start sleeping better right away. Some conditions apply. OAC. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. I was tired of slow, unreliable internet connections, so I signed up for Starlink. It's fast, reliable even in bad weather, and has made streaming for movie nights and online gaming so much better. The summer doesn't mean a break from watching sports, and I've been streaming all the games seamlessly when at the family farm, despite the remote location. If you're ready for a better internet experience, you can order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-888-GO-STARLINK.
Legendary is here with BetMGM Sportsbook. Sign up to unlock access to hundreds of pre-match and live betting options for all your favorite sports. Download the BetMGM app. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest with the Philly Fanatic. The Lowdown with Lowtide, now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's 12:20. This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. It's Alan Mitchell, Declan Krueger, Josh Fenwick, and for the final time, we're going to miss him. Good guy, Connor Spivak. And you'll be heading to Calgary later today and immediately opening up a savings account so you can buy the radio station in exactly 5 years.
He's 22. If he doesn't have a savings account by now, there's some real problems.
Well, you never know. You know how it is with young people.
I got my savings account when I was 16.
I got my savings account at the CIBC because Rusty Staub of the Montreal Expos told me to. I also drank Orange Crush.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, and Anne Murray told me to go banking at the Bank of the Blue Jays, and I did that too. I was easily led during those years. All right, it's time for Rumors, brought to you by Hire Good. We solve real problems for businesses while creating real impact. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. Go to hiregood.ca. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives. I mentioned earlier, I wrote at The Athletic today about how the Oilers can take minutes away from McDavid, who played a lot, like well over 20. If they could get it to 19, what they'd have to do is they'd have to fade him from the penalty kill where he played about a minute per game. And they might be able to do that because they have Dickinson, Nugent Hopkins, and possibly Szymanski who could play as the centers. And then they need to team them up with three wingers. So McDavid get a minute spared there, and then maybe another minute at even strength. But here's the problem that I have with what we've heard from Mike Babcock, and I'm going to say this now, and I'll be terribly wrong, and you can mock me for the entire year. But in my bones, I am telling you, running McDavid Draisaitl for more than like 2 minutes a game at even strength should be a non-starter. The Oilers can't do it. They don't have a young second-line center, and Nuge is at 37% goal share when away from one of or both Draisaitl and McDavid. Dickinson is a fine shutdown checking center. They can play him a lot. They can play Draisaitl and McDavid, and they might have to fade the fourth line, but that's okay. If the fourth line gets 6 minutes instead of 8, the problem is Mike Babcock loves rolling four lines. He loves it. This is a thing to watch, but it can be done, even with the injuries. Speaking of, Stan Bowman in a conversation that I saw, I don't know if you talked to anybody else, but Speck had the story where Bowman said that they're not going to hurry Frederick Anderson back, and that Matthew Savoy is not going to be out half a year, which tells me he'll be out exactly half a year, but I'm just making that up. The quote is that Bowman says he won't be out half a year or anything, but it will be a month maybe before Savoy gets back, and he will be missed because he's one of the players who really stepped up a year ago on the McDavid line and played very well, not just at 5-on-5, but also at Brad says, does anybody hate it when Lowtide says financing in that ad? That's the way I say it.
Financing, whatever, man. Like,
right. You know, vase vase, potato potato.
Okay, well, no, it is potato.
Now, if tomato tomato.
Tomato tomato, yes.
Let's call the whole thing off. If Wolf GMC Buick said, look, stop saying it that way, I would. But they haven't ever said anything, so we move on.
But let me just be clear. It's not potato. It is potato.
What are you, some kind of schmamato?
Okay, then. Just saying. It ain't potato.
Where is your degree in English, sir?
I don't have one.
Oh! Well, then. Okay.
I couldn't do what a person with an English degree could do. They can do what I can do, though.
You can't even speak with an English accent.
Neither can Declan.
What the hell? Are we in grade 4?
I can, by the way, just for the record.
No, you can't.
Yes, actually, he can.
It's not very good.
He can't sustain it, but he can do it. He can sound like Mick Jagger. Go ahead.
Right, and what's all this?
It's just not good.
It's a little spry, but
in the history of time, no three men have been as bad at pretending to have accents as us three. And I don't know about Steve.
I think I have the base for something good being there.
I can do a drawl. Well, you know, because I've watched a lot of Westerns.
All right, let's be clear. I can do accents. I just can't say the phrases that gets me into that accent live on radio.
I can do accents, but not here.
Well, I just like
It's not a useful skill if you can't do it.
well, how often am I needing to do?
Can you play the spoons? No.
No.
Okay. Well,
I couldn't do that on camera or off camera or with a
All right.
mic cracked or whatever.
I would like each of you, and Mr. Spivak can chime in if he likes because it's his last day. I'm out on Connor Hellebuck requesting a trade after signing a long-term contract and saying all the right things. Are you out as well?
Yeah, I'm out. Like, hey, listen, there's a lot of crummy stuff that happened in Winnipeg that probably influenced his decision. First of all, as soon as he went down, the team was horrendous. Second of all, he came back from the Olympics and fans were booing him. That can't feel good after 13 years there.
You bet.
On the flip side, and they're booing your national anthem at the same time. You're taking that hit every night you're at home. On the flip side, you signed a contract. You sort of have you have an obligation, just like ownership has an obligation. That's why they gave you a no move clause, was so that you can't be moved and there's some trust in the organizations. Like, they're not going to turn on you. You're like, hey, I'm here for the long haul.
No.
And then you're like, you know what? Get me out of here.
Declan's, what are your thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets goaltending situation?
Like, I'm all for player empowerment. I really am, because this is a league where, you have billionaire owners and you have millionaire players. I'm not trying to act like these guys are hard done by, but the owners always do what's in the benefit of the owners. So when there comes a time when the players can do what's in benefit of them, I am in favor of it. But it gets to a point where, you've signed a contract for like another 7 years. You're getting paid very handsomely. You've come out and said you have a commitment to this team and this city, want to bring a cup, yada, yada, all that. And sure, that can be lip service. It just gets to a point where I think from the players' side, it gets a little too much. And this, to me, is one of the examples.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way, and very well put. That's exactly right. By the way, in baseball, Minnesota Twins are promoting one of the great young hitters in minor league baseball, Walter Jenkins. So if you're a Twins fan or you like watching baseball, next time you see the home runs from the evening, chances are he will be a part of that. Really good young player. By the way, has McCarr signed yet? No, because I know it's close. They're heading that way. So we'll update you on that as soon as it happens.
I saw Andy Strickland, yesterday said expect a big announcement for the McCarr extension. And then today he said it got pushed back to tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow we get McCarr news that, he's signed a $20 million AAV deal over the next 5 years.
What if he signs for like 14?
I'd be shocked.
Me too, but that would be a hell of an advantage for the Avalanche.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would. For a team that's already got cap issues.
Yeah. All right, NFL. Kirk Cousins has been thought to be the Raiders starter quarterback, but it looks like, according to ESPN's Ryan McFadden, there's a chance. Clint Kubiak says he's not naming a starter. And of course, they got a great young player down there, Fernando Mendoza. Is this just a made up media thing, or is it possible the young man starts?
Of course, it's possible the young man starts. Fernando Mendoza was the first overall pick. Guess what? The Raiders weren't very good last year. But I feel like this would be a time where Tom Brady, as a part owner of the Raiders, should sort of puff his chest out, go downstairs, and be like, "Hey, Clint." Hate to tell you, but Kirky James is getting the start. You know what I mean? Like, he's starting at least half the season.
Declan, can we say without hesitation that Fernando Mendoza will be better than Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah, I am going to say yes.
And he came out of LSU, 20 years ago?
2007.
Yeah, and he was number one. Wasn't he number one?
He was.
Yeah. There was some trouble right from the beginning.
One of the worst number one picks ever. I'm so glad you said that name, because that is the lowest possible bar. So just clearing that shouldn't be an issue.
Ryan Leaf was another. I don't know if he was a first overall, but he was second. He was another problematic pick right from the beginning. It's too bad, man. Too bad that these teams don't have the leadership and the foresight to maybe not start these kids right out of college.
Well, I hope Tom Brady does. You know why? Because he was a guy that played behind the starter. Now, granted, Drew Bledsoe wasn't ever going to lose his job until.
But he got hurt, right?
Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
Right. And then Brady was like stupid good.
And then Brady won a Super Bowl.
I remember that. I remember thinking, damn it. How come and now they did it again. They got another great young quarterback. Patriots, you got to give them their due, right?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, how much more due can we give? They've been dominant for like 26 years.
Do you think that has a lot to do with how bad the Bengals are?
No, they don't even
Okay.
play in the same division.
Yeah, but they sort of, in the AFC. So
Yeah, but like they don't play the AFC North every season.
But
You could be like the Bengal or the Patriots are why the Bills were never good until Josh Allen.
the Patriots could play blindfolded and still make the playoffs, though, right? In their division.
Right now, like this year, no. I mean, I guess so. Yes.
Who you worried about? Miami?
No. But like, I think Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo's good.
Yeah, Buffalo's good. You know, Tom Brady was 33-3 against Buffalo in his career. It's 97.1%. That's the highest win percentage against a team by anybody.
Yeah, I do know, Josh.
Sorry, Dak. My bad.
I will tell you that when the Eagles won the Super Bowl against Brady, I wasn't going in your face. I wasn't saying I knew it all along. I breathed the biggest sigh of relief because he almost won on the final play.
Mm-hmm.
He almost won the damn game.
He threw for like 525 yards.
Oh my God.
505.
Like
My bad.
best quarterback ever. And I love Montana, but you got to give it to Tom Brady. They're talking about Mike Vorkonov of The Athletic talking about NBA expansion. Any chance?
Oh yeah, come on.
No, but I mean to
NBA
Canada.
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
No, I don't think so. I think they have Toronto and they're satisfied with that.
Would it be Vegas?
Yeah, I think Vegas is going to get a team. I think honestly, I'm pretty sure it's Vegas and Seattle.
Oh my God, I'd love it if it was Seattle. If it's Seattle, we all got to go out there and we got to chant Supersonics.
Sure. Maybe we'll see if we can get them to be a sponsor with the station. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I miss there should be a Supersonics team. They should never have left.
There should be, and I think like it's pretty solidified that those would be the two teams those would be the two cities that expansion would go to in the NBA.
Triple C in a truck. LT Brady would have needed a 2-point conversion to win that Super Bowl. Well, at that point, I think I love the Eagles, but the heartbreak I've experienced as an Eagles fan, I think the 2 points is a given.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
Maybe they flub it on the first try, but the Eagles would be offside.
I was listening to this podcast. It's whatever. They were doing a live show in Philly. They were talking about the movie Creed. And one of the guys, Chris Ryan, is from Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And so the host was like, asked him before the show, was like, hey, can you make your top 5 Philly movies or Mount Rushmore Philly movies? And like, oh yeah, absolutely. Made a top 5 list. And he said number 1 with a bullet, Super Bowl 52.
Oh, I love it.
The host
I love it.
is a Patriots fan, so it's just an extra sting. And then the crowd, of course, goes crazy of like, yeah, Chris, you're our savior.
There have been some, like Silver Linings Playbook is about the Eagles a little bit. And,
Correct.
There's
play a
a
major
great
part.
episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia about the Eagles Super Bowl. And then there was what was the name of that movie about the kid who walked on Vermeil's 81?
Invincible.
There you go.
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, horrible movie.
Well, I mean,
Took some serious creative liberties, Disney style.
let's list off all the great NFL films, shall we?
Draft Day.
That's it. I love Draft Day.
Draft Day is great.
You
Super Bowl 52. What a movie.
What about you, Declan? Any football movies that you love? Like,
tons. Friday Night Lights. Remember the Titans.
Oh, is Friday Night Lights the movie or is that Varsity Blues?
I love Varsity Blues too.
Okay.
I love Varsity Blues as well.
I thought Friday Night Lights was a TV show.
It was as well.
That's right.
Became
They
a TV
had the
show
movie.
after. Yep.
Yeah.
Based on a true story.
What was the one about the Notre Dame?
Rudy. Another just classic. Like
My
absolute
God.
Good.
classic.
Also, totally false.
Yeah, they embellished a little bit.
Okay.
for
Embellished a little bit, dude. They embellished a lot.
Let's make a list of movies where Hollywood, cheated
No,
and
it was
made
like
it up.
Rudy that embellished it. Joe
Oh.
Montana, who was famously on that Notre Dame team, was like, yeah, man, we were sort of chanting his name on the sideline, but it was not like how it is in the movie. It was really like in jest. And then like, yeah, it was like the real Rudy Rudiger was just amping himself up.
The biggest, I think, unforgivable sin of Hollywood is what they did to Canada in Argo.
Be up there.
Yeah, probably. No, I mean not. Yeah, not probably. My mind's just not jumping to anything else right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the book about the 1980 um, Team USA hockey victory, Miracle on Ice. That I still think that they confused people about how and when America won the gold medal. You know, it was a different format then, and anyway, it doesn't matter now. It's all ancient history. But are you guys ready for your declinations?
Yep.
What is it again?
Top 5 question marks for the Oilers heading into this season.
Only 5 on the way. Lowdown with Lowtide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
You need the lowdown? It's with Lowtide right now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
GMC Buick. A leftover from Twang Tuesday, I see, 12:39. It is time for Declinations. Interesting one about the Oilers today. And it's brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. The first half's done, but the Elks are just getting started. Lock in your 5-game ticket pack and receive a $25 voucher. Get yours at goelks.com/tickets. Our city, our year. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Declan Krueger.
All right. So I think what we'll do for this one, if it's cool with everybody, is I'll give my top 5, do a little embrace debate. Then Josh can give his top 5 instead of the staggering we generally do.
Okay.
So starting off with number 5, it's something we've talked about a little bit in the last couple of days here. I think people are generally aware of the situation, but Ike Howard and what surrounds him. And I think there are people who believe that Ike Howard, and I would throw myself in this camp, generally needs to be a top 6 player to have success. And can he carve out that role with this Edmonton Oilers team? If he doesn't, what does his trade value look like? Is the bloom off the rose on him as a prospect? How he fits in with Matt Savoy's injury. So that would be my number 5. Just Ike Howard's general outlook for this season, potential trade value, and then obviously, of course, if he does find himself in that top 6 role, what his production will look like.
Can we comment, or should we wait till the end?
No, please do. Please
Okay.
do.
I think that we'll know early on. Like if Ike Howard opening night is on Leon Draisaitl's line, Babcock likes him. If he's on the third line with any other center aside from Nugent Hopkins, then there's going to be trouble. And we'll know early. We really will, because he's not like Savoy, where he can penalty kill and play fourth line minutes responsibly. Ike Howard is just a pure skill scorer, and he is learning on the job in terms of coverage and positioning and getting the puck out under control. But that's going to take a while. His strength is putting the puck in the net, which is hard to do.
My number 4, I had Jake Wallman's role. He's the $7 million man for another 7 years. I don't think people are overly happy with the contract in a lot of respects. A bit of a Band-Aid as well. How is he is it going to be Ryan Shea, who is the second pair left defenseman, or is Jake Wallman going to be presumably filling Darnell Nurse's role because of the cap hit, everything that goes on there? Is he going to stay healthy? What is it going to look like? What is Ryan Shea, who had a great breakout season last year, albeit a little bit older, is he going to be the guy who slides in? And then if he does, all of a sudden, are you looking at Jake Wallman as your third pairing left defenseman playing a role that doesn't really suit his play style? So just how the season plays out for Jake Wallman would be my number 4.
I agree totally. Great take.
My number 3, low-hanging fruit, but it's been a question mark here for a little while, so I'm going to throw it on the list, of course, the goaltending situation. Obviously, Tristan Jarry comes over last year in the Stuart Skinner trade, doesn't play overly well. Connor Ingram, and like, with all respect to Connor Ingram, who was the number 1 goalie, came in here as a bit of a reclamation project, right? And ended up taking the job. He's not here anymore. Tristan Jarry probably not moving that contract anytime soon. You got Freddie Anderson, who played very good, but then played himself onto the bench. You got Devin Levi, who's very unproven. We know it here in Edmonton. We don't need to say it over and over again. We don't have Andrei Vasilevsky in net. We don't have regular season Connor Hellebuck. It's been a point of contention and a discussion point for this team, so it comes into my number 3.
Amen. It's going to be a bullet point throughout the preseason and through the year.
Of course. Number 2 for me, if there is a commitment to playing Leon and Connor together, that second line center role. Jason Dickinson, I think, is a prototypical 3C. I think fills the role very well. I don't think he is a second line center. And Ryan Nugent Hopkins, who I've always been a little bit maybe down on comparatively to others, don't think he at this point in his career is a second line center either. I think we have a clear second line center. Like, I don't know how many times I can scream this from the mountaintops. I think it's Leon Draisaitl. I think it needs to be. But if there is a commitment to them playing on the line together, not just how do they bounce back, because their numbers playing together weren't great last year by their standards, but also who fills that second line center role.
It's true. And almost every team in the NHL is looking for a second line center. The Oilers have a brilliant one who's so good he's a first line center, but they can play him on the second line. To me, it's something you say at a press conference and then walk back as soon as you see the depth on your team.
I certainly hope so. And my number 1, even lower hanging fruit, I think this is everyone's question heading into the season. How does the team look under Mike Babcock? How does Mike Babcock do, right? Been out of the game for a little bit now, hasn't had any playoff success really since Nick Lidstrom retired. What was 2013 the last time he won a playoff series? Been out of the game for a while. We know all the skeletons in his closet, not even in his closet anymore. The skeletons are just sitting on the front porch. But yeah, everything surrounding Mike Babcock and how this team looks under him, the defensive structure they're going to play within his systems, how he handles everything. My biggest question for the Oil heading into this season.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I think that Babcock, I happen to think they'll do well. That's my own opinion. But I think that any range from winning the Stanley Cup to having a new coach by Christmas is possible. It's a wide range. It is. All right.
That's a real wide net.
Yeah.
All right. My number 5. Will Connor McDavid ink an extension this season?
Oh, that's a good one.
I thought about working something like that into mine as well. I'm glad you did.
Because like by season's end, you sort of have to know what it is you're doing next season. All right. Like you have to know by trade deadline time. Like, all right, are we feeling good about like what we could do next year and bringing him back, or like
one thing he won't do is do what Connor Hellebuck just did.
This is true. He'll play out his contract.
Yeah.
So I think it's just really interesting to see like they have to get off to success early and then sustain it.
Yeah.
For him to be like, yeah, all right, well, 1 year left going into the thing, or like coming out of the playoffs, like if they lose in the Stanley Cup final again, I imagine he'll re-sign because it's like, well, we're right there.
They're close.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
My number 4, what will be done with the extra cap space? They still have what, $7 million or something in cap?
I don't think it's quite that. I think it's
5,
4.8,
well,
something like that.
So
It's
right
about
around that 5.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a second line center, one person and all that extra cap space, maybe you can find one if Leon and McDavid are playing together, which again to me is just so stupid. But you got this extra cap space, you got to use it.
Yeah. I honestly think that's something the coach says, yeah, you'll play together, and then not a chance. You know?
Except that was the wrong answer at the press conference.
But he also talked about Josh Brown making the team.
Yeah, this is true.
No.
All right. Number 3, low-hanging fruit. What will they buy into Mike Babcock?
And will they unbuy after they buy?
Yeah.
Right? Like it's both of you have that on your list, and it is like it's the unknowable thing.
Like they were like, yeah, Mike, we're all in on you, buddy. Like we're seal of approval from the leadership team, whatever. Like we want you here. Again, all well and good. 4 months ago, once training camp starts, like what are we going to be looking at here?
And Babcock will he'll win, like whatever. He is a coach who will say this is how it is, and will use ice time as most coaches would.
Yeah, I mean, like you got probably 10 years. No, wait, hold on. Connor McDavid's been in the NHL 11 years.
Yes,
you have 11 years of bad habits to break out of this entire team, not just Connor McDavid, but everybody. Number 2, low hanging fruit again. Will Ike Howard step up? I don't think, to me, it's a question of is he going to be on the third line or the second line? Like we know he's top 6 or bust. So he's got to step up, and he's got to step up fast. Like if he has a slow first 3 games or whatever, but he's putting in the effort, like I don't think his ice time's going to get cut or they're going to drop him to the third line. But like he's got to come out of the gates firing because they gave up some. And if he doesn't, you got to get off him quick.
But I think it's too late to get off him. You got to send him down and hope he recovers, because his trade value, when guys remember Griffin Reinhart, they acquired Griffin Reinhart in 2015. Chiarelli says, no, he's ready to go. By fall, McLellan was fading him. And at that moment, Reinhart's not going to get you any value, and you gave up a first and a second.
And that's not a position they haven't want to be in, so they better hope that this kid works out. And then one for me, I think this is the lowest hanging fruit. Who's the odd goalie out? By the time you reach, again, probably trade deadline, you have to know like what your goalie tandem is going to be in the playoffs, or if it's going to be like, oh, all right, well, we're running Freddie Anderson until the wheels fall off in the playoffs. Then we're sending in either Jari or Levi or other.
Yeah. Burglar says McDavid can't sign an extension this season. July 1, I believe, of 2026 he can sign. Connor and Lauren are already shopping for homes elsewhere from Delta Valley, Jeff. Did you see them in Delta Valley? I'm not, that's one thing. I think private lives should be private lives. So whatever people are doing.
It's tough when you're a great hockey player in Canada to have a private life.
Also, you can have more than one home in more than one location.
This is true.
The Replacements. That's the movie I was thinking of.
Yes.
Bayern Bundesliga opener right now. Davies starting. I do like watching the style in that league.
Which league?
Bundesliga.
That's German, right?
No English degree, and just the one language.
Hey, listen, man, I'm trying my best here.
I'm the one on a 4-hour sleep. Say it as Chris Collinsworth. Maybe that'll.
Come on, Mike. Bundesliga.
Did you guys see North Dallas 40, or is that a movie just from my generation?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We Are Marshall. First scene sobbing. So great, though. Longest Yard was great. That was Burt Reynolds, right? Longest Yard?
The first one.
Yeah.
I guess technically Burt Reynolds was in both, because when it got remade, He was just like the old savvy vet on the prison football team.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a great football. There's been great baseball movies.
No, there's a lot of great, but how can you not be romantic about baseball?
Yeah, it's so good. So good.
It's an easy thing to keep up with, you know? The hit ball, run around bases.
That was a great movie, though. Kevin Costner was so good in that movie.
Which one?
Bull Durham.
Oh yeah, all right,
Yeah.
there we go.
You know,
He was in a lot of baseball movies. I had to.
I know when he screws over Nuke Lelouch and tells the guy a fastball's coming. I love that stuff. It was so good. Blindside, very good movie. I did like Blindside, and not just because Sandra Bullock was in it.
Another movie that has not aged well, unfortunately.
Well, he wasn't a great player. Right? OHER.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, they didn't technically adopt him. They established conservatorship over him and then stole a bunch of money from him.
So you say.
And he didn't get a cut of
But
the movie.
that's not Sandra Bullock's fault.
No, but
No.
he ended up, the real Michael Orr ended up suing the family. And now it's just like, ooh. And then, of course, there's some like white savior vibes to the whole thing that I think people have really turned on with the movie. But yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
it's a lovely theater, though. You know.
Yeah. Sandra Bullock, she won the Oscar.
Well,
So-
she deserved to. She also deserved to win it for All About Steve. But nobody was there for her that day, were they?
When she won for The Blind Side, I think she won a Razzie that year also. Puts her in elite competition for, and she attended the Razzies and gave a speech.
I loved her in Miss Congeniality when she's walking out of that hangar and she looks like $1 million. She trips. That's very good. When You Were Sleeping is also good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Sandra Bullock.
What's that one with the mailbox again?
Stop it. The Something
Lake
House.
House?
What a jackass movie that is. She was good in the one about Practical Magic, was it? That
Yes.
was good. That was good. The Steve from Drumheller. So if Babcock were to try and pull rank and start benching guys, does Edmonton have guys ready to step in or just lose the game out of spite? Well, here, and maybe we haven't talked about this enough, but during the Ken Holland era, they were running so close to like not enough, right to the cap. So they sometimes had 21 guys. They didn't have anybody really in the press box, right? And now, even with a goalie, even with an extra goalie, they're gonna be able to, put a couple of guys upstairs. So, I mean, I don't know who they're gonna be, but you could put Trent Frederick in the press box and play Max Jones or Colton Dock or whomever. And they're never going to put McDavid or Draisaitl or any of those cats in the press box. But if you're asking me if Mike Babcock on a Tuesday night in Florida might fade Draisaitl or McDavid's minutes if they're down 6-1 early in the second, the answer is yes. Yeah, and Babcock will do things that irritate you. Pick up the phone and call your Toronto Maple Leafs fans friend and ask them about how much Babcock played the hell out of Marleau on the Matthews line when Marleau couldn't piss a drop offensively. NHL coaches are stubborn. Mac T used to be just as stubborn. I love Mac T as a coach. I thought he was a great, great coach. And I think he would have been a really good general manager if he'd had the opportunity to stay. But they get stubborn on Toby Peterson on the power play. Mike York quarterbacking a 5-on-3 with a broken hand. Yanni Rita, the one chance he gets with the Oilers, there's a defenseman playing left wing because Mac T doesn't trust him. These things happened. And Mike Babcock will do I'm going to say this, by December 1, I'll be sitting here and you'll be texting me and saying, what the hell with Babcock and Colton Dock or whatever. You'll do it. You will. I promise you. I promise you'll do it. NHL coaches are like that. They just are. Pat Quinn put JF Jock with Horkoff and Hemsky on game 1 of the 2009-10 season. Nobody saw that coming, and it didn't work. And in some ways, Oiler fans know more about the Oilers than Babcock. He's going to have to discover that, and I think it will cost games. Comments like Josh Brown making the team and McDavid and Draisaitl playing together at center, those are indications that Babcock is blue skying it and will have to spend time watching Nugent Hopkins and his 38% goal share at 5-on-5 without McDavid or Draisaitl. Those things can and probably will happen. They're going to lose games because Babcock doesn't know his team yet. That's part of life. It's the circle of life. That was Elton John, right?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's the Circle of Life. Lion King. That was Elton John.
How about the movie The Program? Was a pretty good football movie. I don't know that one. Wildcats.
It's a college football movie, The Program. I like
Okay.
it.
Jerry Maguire football movie. Sort of.
Oh, yeah.
It is a football movie.
Yeah,
But it is a movie from the agent's point
Okay.
of view.
Who stole that movie?
Rod Tidwell or Cuba Gooding Jr.
Gooding Jr.
Best part of that movie.
It's great. He also almost stole As Good as It Gets.
Mm-hmm.
When he got mad at Jack Nicholson in the hallway there, it was freaking funny.
I wish he still had his fastball.
You got to get the right role.
Yeah. He's just picking bad movies.
Well, and maybe he's not getting good offers, you know?
He should have been after Jerry Maguire. I think this is a classic case of chasing the bag.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to criticize.
I mean, I shouldn't criticize either, but like, dude, Radio, what were we thinking?
Helen Hunt was very good in that movie as well.
Yeah, and so was Ed Harris, but like, it's just not a good movie. And he wasn't good.
As Good as It Gets?
No, Radio. The movie Radio?
I haven't seen the movie Radio.
Oh, okay. Well, don't. It's not good.
I don't know why you'd make a movie about radio. It's radio.
No, his character's nickname is Radio.
Oh, okay. So he's not a DJ?
No.
Okay. You're not explaining this movie well at all.
Well, I'm trying to figure out he's got some mental disabilities.
Okay.
And walks around like with his shopping cart, and he's got a radio in it, and all these guys call him Radio. And then the football team keeps bullying him.
Oh.
And Ed Harris, the coach of the football team, steps in and protects him, and then says, like, guys, what are we doing here? Why are you being mean to Radio?
When you said he walks around with his, I was praying you'd say something like shopping cart, and I'm glad that you did.
Shopping cart full of stuff in his radio.
All right. Steve Lansky on the way in hour number 2. Your comments as well. Maybe some, Sandra Bullock or football movies as well. Lowdown with Lowtide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. It's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by elksnation.ca for the best green and gold coverage online with articles, podcasts, and more. Visit elksnation.ca. We start in the MLB. One game going on right now. Cubs lead the Reds 1-0 in at the bottom of the second. Toronto Blue Jays are going to be in action at 5:15, playing host to the Mariners. Dylan Cease on the bump in that one. And the late game tonight in the MLB, we'll see the Diamondbacks and the Giants at 8:15. Preseason football in the NFL, Commanders and Ravens at 4, Falcons and Dolphins, as well as the Texans, Panthers at 5, Giants, Jets at 5:30. Same with the Bucks and Jags. In the late game tonight in the NFL, we'll see the Vikings and the Broncos. 4 games today in the WNBA, the Fire and the Dream getting things going at 5:30. Sun and Fever at the same time. Toronto Temple will be in action as they are in Las Vegas, taking on the Aces at 8. And at the same time, we'll have the Mystics and the Sparks. CFL Week 13 gets going tonight with the Montreal Alouettes in Winnipeg to take on the Blue Bombers. 6:30 kick for that one. The over-under currently set at 6.5. And some strange news out of the sporting world today is federal authorities have arrested and charged 2 men, one of whom reportedly posed as a San Francisco 49ers player for defrauding more than 24 women out of $1.3 million. Declan Krueger, this has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CHJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero-gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back. LeadingEdgePhysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Don't let rookies scratch your custom wheels. Evolve Wheels and Tires uses premium touchless equipment designed to protect your wheel and tire investment. Trust the enthusiasts at Evolve Wheels and Tires, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball. Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, to barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at Bashaw Concrete. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Get ready for Dreams, the ultimate tribute to Fleetwood Mac, live October 10th at Pure Casino Yellowhead's Pearl Showroom. Relive the magic with a 6-piece band delivering the authentic sound, style, and spirit of Fleetwood Mac, featuring iconic costumes, rich harmonies, and unforgettable performances of the greatest hits you love. Tickets from just $44.99. Get yours now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Dreams, the ultimate tribute to Fleetwood Mac, October 10th at Pure Casino. Pure entertainment, pure action, and pure imagination.
He knows all about the Expos and Oilers. It's the Lowdown with Lowtide on Edmonton's Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowtide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. They're overstocked, making room with a massive summer clearance. Plus, employee pricing continues. WolfGMCBuick.com. We don't play a lot of Grateful Dead, do we?
No, not overly.
I love Ripple. If you ever get a chance to play Ripple, it's my favorite Grateful Dead song.
Okay. We can work that in.
All right, you're a good man. It is time for our headliner of the day, Steve Lansky, brought to you by Faber. Debt holding you back? Let Faber's licensed insolvency trustees help you tackle your debt. Book your free consultation at faber.ca or call 1-877-944-1177. 1-877-944-1177. Now, the co-host of Inside the Truck podcast, even though everybody talks about the other guy, it's like the Smothers Brothers, but he's also writing a book. And that is an amazing thing, and we love him for it. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Lansky, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good to be here.
I insulted you before you said a word today.
Dude, when you don't, I'm going to take note.
All right. I people have been begging me since it was announced, or at least the rumor was announced, that Ron McLean was coming back, and maybe the rest aren't, based on rumors or whatever. I don't know if they've signed yet, but I thought this would have been an ideal time. Hockey Night in Canada no longer exists, so you could reset everything. And, trending towards, at least, Ron McLean returning, which to me feels a lot like the tradition continues.
Do you remember the scene from Airplane? Do you remember the movie Airplane, where he turns out the runway lights and he says, they won't be expecting that. And he says, exactly. It's the same. They wouldn't be expecting us to still have Ron McLean, so we'll keep him. That's how. I mean, insane covers so many things. That's how insane the production of these shows is right now. It's insane.
Is there, and I say this with respect, and I've been a broadcaster for 46 years. I love the business. I respect everybody, but I know the job of David Amber or James over at TSN. Ron, the host individual's got somebody talking in his ear, 6 or 7 different things happening. How many really good ones are there, and is that a reason why they would stay with the tradition?
Well, it would be a reason why they would stay with the tradition. It wouldn't be a reason why a reasonable production group would stay with that decision. If you gave me a month and you said, find a new host for that show. I can find you somebody eminently qualified in a month. I mean, Kyle Bukauskas could do it tomorrow with his hands tied behind his back. So, I mean, that's probably where I'd start. There's no way this should be what it is. The problem is Ron is steady Eddie. He basically produces that show from the chair that he's in. Well, Al, if he's going to produce that show from the chair you're in, do you need a qualified producer in the control room? Not really. Ron's there doing it for you. Why would you want to get rid of him? The guy's your meal ticket. The guy's doing your job for you. Brian Spear just sits there like a bobblehead and goes, and the show's produced. It's no problem. They wouldn't want to make a change because that would mean working, doing production, thinking, creating. We can't have that. That's nuts, man.
Steve Lansky, our guest inside the Truck Podcast, now down to 2 Christmas cards from the network. Maybe one by the end of this segment. But you're right. Like we've talked about this all summer, where I just want to be. I want to know more than I did when I walked in. I just pray that Elliot has his own like second period thing, and that's how we use him with the rumors and all the things that he could talk about, because that's what I care about. I really do. Genuinely, I care about it. And I feel like when Elliot's talking about, his take on the defensive coverage, both Elliot and I suffer.
Listen closely. You got a pen?
Yeah.
They don't care what you care about. They only care what they care about. Those are two vastly different things. You mentioned it in the opening. I'm writing the book. The only thing I ever gave a shirt about was the viewer. Those days are gone. Nobody does that anymore. They care about the money. They care about the inside jokes. They care about, hey, weren't we funny today? Those things don't matter crap. What matters is exactly what you said. I want to turn off the show having learned something in 3 hours. Not happening right now. They don't care. As long as they don't care, nothing's going to change. You and I are going to walk away highly dissatisfied every Saturday night.
When I read the Howie Meeker book, and when he started on TV, he had to criticize Frank Mahovlich, I think it was. And what he did was he said, because, Bob Golden wasn't overly critical, Howie would say, this is a mistake. Kids don't play like the Leafs. And he showed something Frank had done wrong. But then he made a point of showing something Frank had done right, because he knew that there'd be pressure coming down and he wanted to appease a little. And I get why there's a compromise there. I understand why Howie did it, but it feels like they've slipped the criticism completely out of the broadcast now. And I don't care how much pressure is brought to bear by the franchise or the players, the coaches or whatever. Not every period by every team is perfect. That's not possible, Steve.
They care about how they look in the room. They just want everybody to be happy, happy, happy. Nobody's upset with me. No players are upset with me. No other broadcasters are upset with me. Everybody loves me. That's what it's become. It's sad to me, but that's what it is. They don't want to walk in the room and get a side-eye look from Austin Matthews. What'd you say about me last week? Why'd you say that about me last week? Oh, we can't have that anymore, Al. It's 2026. We can't possibly, say, when you got a group of sniffers sitting around that table, that's all they care about. I mean, it turns my stomach to reveal that this is the way it works now, but this is the way it works. They just want everybody to be happy. They don't want anybody to be angry with them, because then they won't get what they need for the show, which is God only knows what. But they just want happiness among the National Hockey League.
Okay, but more people, and I know it's a different sport, but if I'm walking by a television and I see Shaq and I see Barkley and that panel on the NBA halftime, I stop what I'm doing, because it's entertaining, it's funny, and my God, are they critical? They're overly critical. Like they're the voice of reason jumps in every once in a while. Thank God for Ernie. But that thing is like it's a tightrope, and anything could happen, and that's why I watch it.
So when we talk about producing, that's basically what we're talking about. Is looking at the show. So this is the guy who's sitting in the big chair, like I did for X number of years. That guy in that chair has to be able to say, guys, this sounds like a teacher talking to a kindergarten class. We need to change this. And then, if it doesn't change, you change the personnel. You say, thank you, Kelly Rudy. It's been lovely having you around. You're a really nice guy, but it's not show friends, it's show business. So we're not going to be able to move forward in that direction. We're going to have to change the complexion and what we're trying to achieve on the show. Obviously, the NBA and its producers on whatever network we're talking about, TNT, let's say, that's one of their mandates. It's not a mandate with Hockey Night. It's not one of their mandates because you know what? They know people will watch anyway.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Is that why? Because apparently Elliott and BX are not signed yet, and one of the reasons is that they may want to go with another network. Do the Americans do it better? Like on the, I don't know what cover. I know you watch coverage, but I'm not sure which one you prefer. Are they miles ahead now of the Canadian broadcast? Which it really is sacrilege for me to even ask the question.
Well, they're not miles ahead on the on ice coverage. Puck drop to closing horn. Canada's far, far, far ahead, and they're always going to be far ahead. I hope. Oh, I can't believe I had to actually consider qualifying that. Oh, that's so upsetting. But Canada has fallen pathetically behind when it comes to analysis and studio analysis and creating and entertaining. These are two key words here, creating and entertaining, that nobody does anymore. It doesn't exist. When I worked with John Shannon, you could almost see the smoke come out of his ears. He was working so hard to create and entertain for the viewer. That was good television. I tried to do the same. Mark Askin in Canada does a really good job, but Mark Askin covers hockey on the ice. Mark Askin doesn't do any studio work. That's why the studio looks like crap, because there are no people there who have that mindset, who want to inform and entertain you. So yeah, the United States is far ahead of us in that regard in studio situations. Yeah.
Well, so now let's take like the E and ESPN is entertainment, right? And so,
well, it was. I'm not sure it is anymore, but yeah.
Fair. That's fair. So let's take the local broadcast. Okay. I like MacT with Bob. I think that's a really good one. I think that Speck has good stuff that he can bring. You could go back to the network and have Elliott at the second period and do his rumor thing. I just feel like I know people get up and leave during intermission, and what you can say about Don Cherry, lots of things, but nobody left when Don Cherry was talking, and they've sort of lost the plot here. Like, doesn't anybody tell them that nobody's listening, or the TV's on, but they're not grabbing every word?
They don't care. They don't care. And I wish I was exaggerating here, but I'm not. When you've got a host and two guys, let's say on local Oilers broadcast, producers are at the point where if the lips are moving on the screen, they're happy. They couldn't care less what's coming out of Joaquin Gage's mouth or Craig McTavish's mouth or Bob Stauffer's mouth. They don't care. Oh, their lips are moving and the sound is up. That's good. Let's move on to something, let's prepare for the next segment. They couldn't care less. And I guarantee you it doesn't get watched back. And there is no critique. You talked for 95 seconds there. You didn't say anything. That's not working for us. Ask me how many of those conversations I had with Mike Keenan. I said, Mike, what you say in the green room is gold. What you're saying on the air is crap. That's not working for me. Either you're going to talk about Pavel Bure on the air like you just talked about him in the green room, or we're going to have a problem. And it didn't solve, and Mike ended up going to work for Boston, and Mike was not good on the air when he worked with me at Sportsnet for that very reason. There's a line, Al. You got to want to go across it. If you don't want to go across it, or If you don't know what the hell you're saying, you're just standing there with 90 seconds of lip flap. You don't belong in my show.
See, that's why I kind of hope that Elliot and BX are looking for another opportunity, because I love Elliot. I love watching him when he's talking about what he knows and the rumors. I like it even more than his written stuff. And I feel like they're misusing him. It's like you hire Keith Richards for your band and he's playing the maracas. I don't understand that.
Except, what if Keith Richards comes to you and says, "I want to play the maracas"? You got to have some stones to say, "Yeah, you're not playing the maracas. You're Keith Richards. This is the best frame around you. We're leaving that frame around you. Oh God, you might piss Keith off. Oh, that's horrible." They got the wrong frame around Elliot. The absolute wrong frame around this guy. But if he goes and says, "This is what I want," you have to have some stones to say to him, "I'm sorry, but this is what you're going to be. This is your best role on our show. Take it or leave it." Nobody does that anymore, man. If I had a nickel for every time everybody did that in the 80s and I watched them do it, I'd be a billionaire. Nobody does it anymore.
Is this about money? Is this just like cutbacks and not, just saying, okay, this is the budget, we've got it taken care of, do your best?
Part of it. Money's always a concern now. When we did Hockey Night in the 80s, money was no concern whatsoever. Nobody cared. We'd spend money on whatever we wanted, because everybody knew it was good television. Now that you've got bean counters running the business, there's always the specter of money hanging over especially when Rogers took it the first time. And they brought in Gord Cutler, and they brought in Paul Romanek, and they brought in a bunch of people, high-name people, high-priced people. And then 2 years later, they were all gone because they realized they'd absolutely, screwed up the budget from top to bottom. So they just started firing the most expensive guys. That's all they care about.
I really liked Romanek. I thought he was really good.
Paul Romanek's great. Paul Romanek got a raw deal. Romy, if you're watching this, you got a raw deal, buddy.
Yeah. Next time we talk about something, could you bring some passion and care a little bit?
I just spent the last half hour trying to organize a CAA car battery swap for my aunt in Toronto, who's 93 years old. I was nice and calm, and then I came on and I saw your face, and it's like it just started to boil. There's no other way to describe it. So if that works, great.
So that's the key to these conversations. You have to be able to see my face to become enraged.
It helps. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I love it. I'm going to send you a photo every morning that we have this conversation.
Well, that might work for a while, but then after a while it could get creepy. I'll let you know when it gets creepy.
You know what? I always do take things too far. All right. Well, good luck on the battery. And say, hey, was it your auntie?
Yeah, my 93-year-old aunt who lives in Toronto, yeah.
Gosh. And you're going to get it expressed to her house?
No, it's done. The guy's probably there right now putting it in.
God,
I just phoned him up and said, "Look, here's the deal. She's 93." And the lady went, "Okay, got it. I understand."
I love it. I love it.
Why? I said, and don't ask me why she's driving, because I don't have an answer.
Well, you're a good human. And I don't know how many Christmas cards you get from the networks now, but I bet it's a few less after today.
It's that right there.
Be good. Thank you.
See you later, my friend.
There you go. Steve Lansky. I did not make any effort to work him up. That was all, he feels great passion about it. And I love it because in the world of life, you rarely get raw. People say raw all the time, but you rarely get that. That was a very passionate and raw take from Steve Lansky, and I'm glad that I witnessed it. I enjoyed it very much. Okay. On the way, your comments about what Steve said, your comments about the Oilers. The Elks not in action, but we'll talk about the CFL right ahead. Lowdown, Lowtide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Run to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child. Hey, Mr. Rooter. You've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw,
Clark says, thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the pro press fitting of my copper pipe.
What's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a plum. One for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all sevens. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
The Chicken Parmy Burger. McExtreme pulled pork, garlic and black pepper chicken McNuggets, cheesy bacon McFlavor fries, and the Stroop Waffle McFlurry. You've scrolled them. You've screenshotted them. You've never been able to order them until now. This is the McDonald's World Menu Heist. The most wanted menu items taken from around the world, now in Canada. Get them while you can. For a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Plan for success in 2027 with help from the Co-op Grow Team. With the latest on-farm technology, our agronomists will work with you to gather and interpret soil samples, analyze data, and gain more insight into your fields. We offer local expertise and trusted advice to help you plan your inputs and prepare for the unexpected. Get ready to make data-driven decisions with Co-op Ag Zone Field. Make a successful 2027 crop plan to meet your field's potential. Talk to your Co-op Grow Team today.
Legendary is here with BetMGM Sportsbook. Sign up to unlock access to hundreds of pre-match and live betting options for all your favorite sports. Download the BetMGM app. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
The Lowdown with Lowtide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
$124. This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. Friday afternoon, Jason Gregor show coming up at 2 o'clock today with Connor Halley and the host share. Gregor back on Monday. And we'll be fresh and ready to roll. Do you find it interesting that when Gregor takes a holiday, the weather's too nervous to be bad? Just beautiful day after beautiful day when Gregor's on holidays.
It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
It kind of does.
Yeah, it really does track.
He looks up at the sky and he goes, be better. And then it is because he's on holidays. It's a little irritating, but I get it, I guess.
They needed a nice day for this golf tournament.
Yeah. No. Have you been to that one?
No.
All right.
Well, I've only worked here for 2 years, and I work here, so I can't exactly take the day off to go and play at the golf tournament.
Well, Gazzola takes days off 10 at a time.
Yeah, I know. So maybe next year he's playing, and then I'm producing. Brandon's hosting.
Okay, all right. Andrew says, guys, when Matt Savoy gets back, would you give him a shot at center as a replacement for Nuge? I would not, and I'll tell you why. I think he's really good on the wing, on the McDavid's wing. I'd leave him there. And he's an undersized right-handed center. And the league is either Ryan O'Reilly or trying to be Ryan O'Reilly at center. So, Draisaitl and McDavid are grown-ass men who are filthy when they need to be, so they can handle themselves. Nuge is still undersized and still loses battles, but he's a veteran guy. And Dickinson can play. Like, Dickinson is a real center. You don't even question that. I think Szymanski could be, but Dickinson is. He can penalty kill. He can play a shutdown role. I hope they use him there. That's defensive zone face-off, sometimes against the other team's best line, so McDavid's line can get some clean air. Babcock has real pieces here. He could do a damn good job, and he could do things like if he played McDavid and Draisaitl together on a line, but he used Dickinson as his second most used line and gave him the Boyd Gordon defensive zone face-offs, the penalty kill, all the scut work, just the guttural stuff that nobody wants to do. I think Dickinson might be able to do that if he had the right line mates. And that's the tough work. That's a tough chore. And then you're allowing at least a little bit the other line, as much as you can, some clean air, at least at home. It's not a bad idea. So it's a good point you make, and I'm glad you asked the question, but no, I would not. I feel as though that's a bridge too far for a young player who's already established himself in an impressive role, and I would not move away from that. I think that works pretty darn well now. I wouldn't go away from it. There was a question here. I've lost it. How is a 6'1" center considered undersized? Well, Nuge is he's a slender fellow. I would question that he's 6'1", but he's not a big guy. He's just not. He's a smart guy. He's very smart. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins isn't a big man. Todd McClellan mentioned that 1,000 times when he was coach here. What are we doing here? Speaking of holidays, who's covering for Tommy G when he goes on holidays and again next week? I don't know.
It'd be Brandon. But good news, Tommy's not going on vacation.
No. He told me he was going to go on for a while. He was going to be on the mic for some time.
Probably until the Oilers season ends.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Northside Adam, please, can we have Grateful Dead hour, please? Well, send us a list. Young Declan here is well versed in all kinds of music, from Lil Baby to Big Baby, but he may not know Grateful Dead. So, that 10 minutes with Lansky was better than anything Sportsnet has done during the intermission for years. Well, I'm sure it comes across, but like, there's a little heartache in there. Like he's part of the tradition that has just ended, that is Hockey Night in Canada. And nobody likes to see something they felt they helped to build or continue and maybe go in a direction they're unhappy with. And I didn't know I had other plans to talk about stuff, but he was so passionate and upset about it, and I know why. So we ran with that, and I'm glad that everybody tuned in. And Lansky is good people, says Farm Team. Agree or disagree, there's no questioning his conviction. Refreshing. Plus, he brings me pies and stuff every once in a while. He does?
Yeah, I know.
Did you get some last time?
No, it's blueberry pie. I don't really do blueberries.
But you got some of the pumpkin that time.
Maybe I did. I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Bring Lansky on twice a week. Ripple is a fun time. A fun song to play on the mandolin. It really is. It's just a great song.
It's a fun song to play on the mandolin. I had no idea you knew how to play.
My grandma played the violin, the accordion, the piano, and the mandolin.
Nice.
I couldn't play a thing.
Okay.
I could play the piano a little bit, like Oh Susanna and
Chopsticks.
Heart and Soul, but Chopsticks, same thing. Bouchard. Okay, hold on. This is the one that I needed to find. Greg from Spruce Grove. It's a town. Hey guys, great show. I can see in my crystal ball Bouchard becoming a more complete defender, but his point total going down a little. Hoagie from Spruce Grove. I think the power play points will be there. 5-on-5, we'll have to wait and see. You know, I mean, Mike Babcock says things, but like what I think he would try to do, honestly, I'll just go use Montreal Canadiens as an example. Back in the 70s, Guy Lafleur was just the most magnificent hockey player alive. I did not like him. I borderline hated him because I was a Bruins fan, but I respected the hell out of his ability, and he was a great player. But he was not a two-way guy at all. So they gave him Jacques Lemaire, who was a pretty good center, and Steve Schott, who was an excellent, aside from having a great shot, he was an excellent two-way left winger. He actually could have been on a checking line, but they had Bob Gainey, so why bother? And Schott could score 50 goals a year. So, you know, Babcock might do that. You know, he might say, okay, I'm gonna grab McDavid and Hyman, two guys who are, you know, coverage and that sort of thing. They're a lot of effort, but you know, I mean, I for one don't know why you'd be teaching Connor McDavid defense when he's so good offensively. But you could have a defensive conscience like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been for years. Now, Nuge is a little bit not able to do that as well and score. You know, the offense is off a little bit even with McDavid. So maybe that's Savoy. But Babcock will uncover that. And you know, we have to be ready for something that seems to break our brain parts, like Josh Szymanski on left wing with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. I know it sounds nuts, but that might happen because Babcock isn't coming in with the experience that we've all shared with Jay Woodcroft and Chris Knobloch. He's coming in and going, well, I've seen these guys on television. I know they're really good. I've talked to other coaches who've had them internationally. I know Todd McClellan well. I told Todd what he was doing wrong, so we're going to cut down on the minutes. But I think I'll get. And then they get here, and then they see a couple of guys they like, and they're like, you know, well, why isn't this guy on the playing more? And that's going to happen. It's going to happen in like less than a month. I'm reading your future here. It's going to happen in less than a month. I'm saying this now. Mike Babcock is going to like a player you don't think should play on the top six. You're going to like him more than you think he will, and he might get stubborn on that guy if it works out even a little bit. Box of Rain is an amazing song, but will make you cry from John. That band is surprising because like Ripple is a gorgeous song. And their reputation is like this band that played all over America. If you Billboard at the end of the year would have the top concerts, it would all be Grateful Dead, and then like Harry Belafonte and the Pope in the top 100, and that was it, right? And so they were basically a touring band where people got high, drove old Cadillacs to the next concert, and they just followed them around. That's the Grateful Dead story. And they also had a roadie who basically supplied contraband to the world during that time. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The Grateful Dead as a band are really underrated musically. They're excellent, you know. I remember every couple of years, guitar player would have like Phil Lesh on the cover and talk about what he was great at, right? So, what's the matter with you, dude? Blueberries are so good and healthy from Whaler.
Yeah, hey, I'm not saying they're not healthy or anything. Like, I just don't like the taste of blueberries.
They're just not for me.
I'm a cherries guy, peaches, apples.
So like, you say.
I like strawberries.
We're going to get 50 blueberries and make you eat them on Monday.
No, that's okay. It's not going to happen.
I wouldn't ever make you eat anything. That would be
what am I?
Abusive, I think.
8 years old?
Well, you were in grade 4 not an hour ago.
I remember my mom doing that to my brother, though. He had to eat his strawberries before he could leave the table. It's the only time I've ever seen someone sit at a table for like an hour.
Yeah. My dad told me the story of like he grew up in like he was 18 in the dirty 30s, right? Like they were poor, and if he didn't eat his supper, the next morning it was there for breakfast, and if he didn't eat it for breakfast, it would be there for lunch.
Checks out to me.
Yeah,
not a lot of walking around money at those times,
and they didn't get it. They didn't get any education. I feel really bad. Not that they were a better generation than my generation. They went to war. They worked hard. They suppressed, communism, and they built empires. And we sold it all. And now you have nothing. You're welcome.
Good things, bad things. The weird intersection where there's less good things and there's more bad things.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan, he's right there at the cross.
Yeah. My dad called him Ronald Reagan and said James Stewart should have been the president.
I bet you anybody was better than Reagan.
I want to see McDavid, Dry, Dickinson, Nuge as the four down the middle to attack, to defend. Shores up minutes for Nuge on the power play, should we choose to keep him there. But I'd rather see Dickinson, Nuge leading the PK1. I think that they'll be PK1 and 2, and they'll play center. And there'll be a winger with them. But my dream is that Mike Babcock runs Dickinson as a tough minutes, third or fourth line, depending upon the minutes would change. But he's got veteran wingers with him, and they play offense or defensive zone face-offs. They play against the toughs on the line changes, and they penalty kill. That line is climbing Everest every night. And then the McDavid and Draisaitl lines, which are separate, they're on center on separate lines, and they get, a little bit of the soft parade, a little bit of the middle, and then they get a lot of, but not as much of the tough minutes that they get, during most years. And then the Nuge line with Ike Howard could line up with, say, Kapanen, and they could be the soft parade line, offensive zone starts, that kind of thing. I live for that, and then the other thing I live for is that Ike Howard gets a chance on Leon Draisaitl's line. If Mike Babcock does that, I will come on the show and call him a genius. I will.
I'm going to hold you to that.
I tell you what, if he plays Draisaitl with Ike Howard will succeed. He's not going to succeed maybe early, but at the end of the season, at game 82, Ike Howard will be part of the top 6, and he'll be a much better player than he was a year ago. You need reps.
I'm out. I don't believe.
I understand that. But would you say, with respect,
sure,
not putting you on the spot, with respect, that you're a better broadcaster now, partly because you get to crack the mic and say things?
This is absolutely true.
Okay. And you were young when you came, and you're young now. Did you pull a hair out of your nose? You pulled a hair out of your nose.
I have a zit.
You've got a pimple.
Something like right on my. So I went to itch my nose, and my finger rubbed up against the hair and went in an opposite direction.
And you're crying because of that. That's painful.
Well, hey, everything around there's a lot of nerve endings around there. You know what I mean?
I'm going to come over there and flick it like
that.
No,
that's okay.
And we'll see how much you can
Anyways,
cry.
what were we saying?
I don't remember.
You were comparing me to Ike Howard.
No, I was saying the reps that you've got, the Mike, the Saturday show that you do.
Sure.
It's made you a better broadcaster, even though you're still young. You probably advanced 5 years in 2 years because you had that opportunity.
This is totally fair.
Okay, that's what I'm asking for Mike Howard.
Sure, that's fair. But also, if I was a crummy broadcaster.
Well, Ike Howard's not a crummy player.
He's not a crummy player, but maybe, just maybe,
young.
he doesn't work out.
I understand that. But if you've invested this much in him, for goodness sakes, give him a chance.
But I just don't think he's going to be a bona fide top 6 player at the end of the year.
If he doesn't make it, I'm coming over there and I'm flicking it.
And you're telling me I was right? Sorry, Josh.
Lowdown with Lowtide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing.
And that is pounded to right field. Way
Here. 1-0 Royals, 2 pitches into the top of the first. Deep to right. This one is way back. And that is pounded to right field. Way out here into the top of the first.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ad.211.ca.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest with the Philly Fanatic, the Lowdown with Lowtide. Now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Oh, so good. Lowdown with Lowtide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. That's been a tradition for how long? We played that Friday afternoon.
Since Liam, speaking of interns, since he was here.
Right. We've had some great interns.
I mean, speaking as a former intern, I tend to agree.
No, I don't think we've had a bad one in the bunch. Now we're saying goodbye to Connor today. Speedback, but I think he'll be back and he'll be in a position of authority, and he'll have his own, I think, office and desk, and he'll be meeting us and meeting with us and going over air text daily. I'm already afraid.
Yeah.
No.
We were joking at the bar sometime this week, maybe it was last week, about like a big staff meeting or whatever, just like for 1440. But the first thing that happens is all the hosts are like, all right, today we're going to rank all the interns that since our inception.
I have been blessed. Going back to Hallie, who Hallie worked with me. Lieutenant Eric, Freddie Papernick, obviously you guys, Natalie Remchuk. Usually people go on to great fame and fortune, and that's why I think Connor Speedback will eventually own the company. It'll be Speedback Corporation.
Fair
enough. And they'll be throwing big rubber balls of oil out the window like Kramer did on Seinfeld.
You definitely seem like you're the A-plus farm team in the radio industry. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because I let people talk, like you, and then you end up being, better and better, and then you even become infinitely wealthy. Rainer says Lowtide refuses to accept that Howard is
a below average skater, and it's not getting better anytime soon. Well, according to NHL Edge, this is max speed. 85%, 85th percentile for Ike Howard. So that's pretty good. Also, when you invest, like let's say you, Rainer, and I, we own a company and we move furniture, right? And we buy a big ass truck and it's got our name on it, Rainer and Lowtide Moving. And that's kind of a caricatures of us. You're skinny, I'm not. It's a kind of a funny thing. People go, oh, there goes Rainer and Lowtide. And it's a big truck, but we don't want to drive it. Maybe it goes up the hill and it doesn't work, and it's got a few things that we need to fix, but we park it and we never use it again. That's not a good investment. And it's the same thing for the owners. You traded for the guy, you gave him an audition, and he went down and learned what you told him he needed to learn. That's based on every interview I've seen. For Colin Chalk, who's a very good AHL coach. So you're either for me or against me. And right now, the owners are, I think, for Ike Howard. And if they're against him, then they're going to get a lot less than 100 cents on the dollar because he's not proven anything. Because what? That's right. He doesn't have the opportunity. As Howard will learn from the great Leon Draisaitl, as will Josh with the great Lowtide. Oh, come on. I mean, you do other shows and you get to talk on other shows.
Yeah. I want to talk on 2 other shows.
Right. So my point wasn't that the Lowtide did this. It's Josh who did it. But he had the opportunity. And that's what happens when you come to Sports 1440. Unlike those other shows where they put tape on all the other people in the room.
Classic. But to some people, I'm sure they mentioned Declan works on 4 shows.
Well, Declan does work a lot. I mean, in all honesty, you do too. I'm not saying you don't. But Declan, he knows where the bodies are. And he can ruin both of us just by turning the mic up and down or turning the mic on when we're not listening during a break. What was it, olives for you?
Yeah, olives, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were going on and on about that. That girl, you were smitten at olives. I just drove over there with olives.
That's what I'm driving over there with tonight.
It's like a plan you had, except it was no plan at all. Casanova.
Okay, that's what I'm driving over with tonight. Olives.
Well, why not? It's a tradition now.
At this point.
You should do that every time you go over there.
Well, it seems like it get a little expensive.
Come on now. It's not like it's neat.
Garlic stuff. Olives are expensive, man.
Well, the good ones are.
Yeah, I know. What, you think I'm buying crummy garlic stuffed olives? Come on.
No, I didn't think I ever mentioned that. The only thing I get caught up on as a right-handed center, the organization has been signaling this for years now. Could you find a winger to take the draws on the offside? Well, Andrew, they did that a couple of times on the PK with Savoy. He didn't have many, but he did have like some. And then Curtis Lazar successfully took a lot of face-offs. That's why I wonder if Lazar is one of the people that they bring in here on a PTO. Hey guys, do you think Connor Ingram will find a home before the start of the season? Well, I think about all these guys like Logan Stanley, Tarasenko, who else has been mentioned? Ingram, Bibbly Boo, all the guys who are not signed. They'll end up signing like for $1 million, or they'll sign a PTO. Glenn Denning is signed, I think, in New Jersey. I can't remember, but doesn't mean he'll play in New Jersey this year. Doesn't mean he'll get a contract from them, but he'll be able to showcase. And remember, the showcase is very brief. It's not very long. So, I mean, I think Tarasenko will sign, right? Like $2 million somewhere. The world needs more international love. And Josh's impersonations from X-Ray Gogs. Well, you're half right.
There's a guy who loves my impersonations, by the way, X-Ray Gogs.
Just Roadhammer says, Mom, if you're not going to eat it, you're going to eat it for the next meal thing with Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. The problem with Brussels sprouts is they get in your mouth. I never ate them on the 3rd day. I got a bowl of cornflakes for breakfast. Okay. What's your favorite cereal? I like Raisin Bran.
Of course you do. Frosted Flakes. It's all the way.
What do you mean, of course I do? It's that boring?
Yeah. You and I, well, I'm not saying you're boring. You're just from a different time than I am, where raisins were considered dessert. And also, the brand part of that meal sucks.
You know brand is important.
I know it's important for you. I get my fiber from other places, like fruit.
But in Slurpees.
Sure. I don't drink a lot of Slurpees.
Okay.
No. But like Frosted Flakes stuff, where's that? Start my day off a little sugar.
It used to be oatmeal for my friend. Declan, what's your favorite breakfast cereal? Or
Ooh, I really do like Raisin Bran a lot.
You guys are psychotic.
No, man, Raisin Bran's good because they coat the raisins with a little bit of sugar.
Yeah, that.
You get the double scoop raisins or whatever.
But you don't have to. They're good anyway.
No, but like I do, the raisins are hot. I like it.
Sure.
So.
Well, you look for the raisins with every scoop.
Honestly, though, if I'm gonna give my answer, I don't really eat cereal. I'll eat cereal as like a dessert. So I'll have like a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch as dessert. But if I'm like eating cereal to eat cereal,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is good.
Yeah, maybe like Honey Nut Cheerios, classic rum ball, one of the OGs, Honey Nut Cheerios.
I can't believe what I'm sitting through right now.
What do you eat? Like Lucky Charms?
Raisin Bran, and I have cereal for dessert. I don't really eat cereal. No, I said Frosted Flakes. Come on. Actually, never mind. Why am I shocked he wasn't listening?
That's still for kids.
Frosted Flakes is for everybody. Also,
cereal for 6-year-olds, bro.
Well, he's mad at oatmeal, so big oatmeal.
Look, the oatmeal crisp is different. It's got like granola and stuff in it.
What's your favorite chocolate bar? The best one is Kit Kat. I'm sorry.
I like the Kit Kat Chunky. I'm a big fan of Kit Kats. They come in Lunchables.
I just like Mirage Bar. Oh, so good.
Mirage bars are good. But honestly, Twix bar, that's the one.
I do not like Twix bar.
That's psychotic. I'm learning so much.
I missed the bar 6. That was good.
I actually like Big Turk, unlike everybody else in the planet.
I think Jason, that's his favorite bar.
I think I'm
my favorite too.
I think I'm single. Okay, so me and Jason are single-handedly keeping Big Turk in business.
You must be so proud.
I'm quite proud.
And the good thing is, whenever you go to the store, there's plenty of them.
Exactly. I never really have to fight for it.
Yeah, I like Mars bars. I like Wonder Bar. Very good. I don't eat chocolate bars anymore, but I love them. I don't eat ice cream anymore. It makes me sad. Honey Bunches of Oats was my go-to, but I haven't eaten cereal in years. It's terrible for you from later.
Oh yeah, I'm aware cereal is bad for you. But
well,
also,
I mean,
come on, treat yourself.
Raisin Bran isn't terrible for you.
Listen, at the end of the day, everything's trying to kill you. Let's just, like, have fun.
I like the people who go, all these studies, bacon's going to kill you, and then 2 weeks later, bacon's great for you.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. Bacon is the best thing available, but it's not good for you.
Still protein, got a lot of fat on
It's
there.
a lot of fat. Yeah.
So anyways, at the end of the day, listen, keep it, like, you gotta eat healthy, like, whatever it is, 80% of the time or something like that. Eat whatever you want in that 20%.
But I like Raisin Bran.
Yeah, Raisin Bran is fine. It's got raisins in it. I get it. They're coated in sugar.
I don't like raisin bread.
But it's got fiber in it. Fiber is good for you. It's got all this stuff, but then also on top of it, it's got stuff that is bad for you in it.
I've gotten into borderline online fistfights with people from Newfoundland about raisin bread. My theory is they get the fresh stuff and we get the stuff that's not fresh.
I love raisin bread.
I don't. What are the raisins doing there? Do you put butter on the raisins and the bread? It makes no sense.
You put butter on it all.
Every
Or
piece of
margarine.
bread should be able to be peanut butterable, and you can't do it with raisins. Peanut butter and raisins is a bad idea.
Sure, yeah. At the end of the day, though, really, isn't everything just going to kill you? Everything's got microplastics in it now. Like,
you should go to the Italian centers to say cheddar for your olives.
I know, I've heard this too.
Sun-dried tomatoes. They're incredible.
Is that something you tacked on?
Well, no, that's what he said, but Karen does that too. She gets the sun-dried tomatoes. She makes the salad. Oh my God. It's everything I don't like, and it's great. I don't know how the hell she does it.
She's good cook.
Apparently. Okay, so I'm thinking the music starts soon.
I think you're right. And then
I'm going to have to admonish you during the notes that I sent to Jason. We're not talking about sports enough. You really derailed the show today.
I took to go to Howard. Top 5 whatever's for the Oilers.
Whatever's.
You talk to me about.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We did the top 5 whatever's for the Oilers today.
Question marks. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, it's a word. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Lowdown. Jason Breaker Show on the way next, hosted by Connor Alley. Please enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you Monday.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Max Real Estate. Connects with the Edmonton or area. Call or text under 780-265-0165. One game in the MLB going right now. Cubs lead the Reds 3-2. In the top of the 6, Jays will be in action at 5:15. Finals. The Mariners still on the mound in that one. Late game was the Diamond. Backhand. Giants. Comes the NFL preseason game. Today it's both Commanders and the Ravens at 4. The late game in the league. See the Vikings and the Broncos at 7. Toronto Temple playing in the WNBA. They'll play at 8 o'clock against the Las Vegas Aces out in Vegas. And the International Championship in the Little League World Series will see Curacao and Japan. The United States Championship will see Ohio and Nevada. Declan Krueger, this has been Sports 1440 Update.